Hi everyone, and welcome to part 3 of the Tinkerbell colour run that we're doing. And this is from the Colouring Heaven Fairytale special, and all the designs are by the wonderful Lynn. There has been a slight delay in filming part 3 due to bad health, but I won't go too into that. And I think I said that in part 3 we're going to be doing the wings, the small bottle and the petticoat. So I'm going to dive straight back into that today. I'm going to zoom you in. I think I'm going to start with the wings. So with the wings, I'm not putting any marker base down as we have previously with most of this. What I am going to be doing is using Prismacolor in 5 colours, which I will list out to you now. So I'm going to make them like an iridescent wing with, like, when you have a holographic effect, it has these pastel colours. So I'm going to be going with blush pink in PC 928. I'm going to have a white in PC 938 to blend together. I'm going to have pale sage in PC 1089. I'm going to be having a cream in PC 914. And cloud blue in PC 1023. And you're going to be using all of these, but you don't need the white right now. So I'm going to pick out just with certain colours where I would like them to be. And I'm quite light with my lay down, and I'm just picking out areas that I would like these colours to be. So I'm not going over the whole wing, I'm just like into the corners of some, bringing down some of the colour into like sort of a quarter of the way down, and I'm phasing it out and feathering it out as I'm coming down. And I'm not doing this on every single segment with the pink, but just quite a few. So I'm easing off my pressure as I'm coming down. So that's going from like a medium pressure into a lighter pressure. And I'm just picking out where I would like those bits to be. So just your blush pink for now. Sort of ease off, I don't want too much there, because you do have other colours that's going to go into this, which I showed. I think I'll go into this bit here, but just a small amount. And then here. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with the pink at the moment. Now I'm going to get the colour Cloud Blue. And this is quite a pale colour, so you might need to put a bit of pressure on this, but again, not too heavy, but enough. And I've got no kind of pattern to this, but just where I feel I would like it. I'm using my eye to pick out those areas where I would like a bit of blue. Same with the pink, and the same will be with the cream and the pale sage. Okay, so pretty happy with that amount. Then I'm going to get my pale sage, and I'm going to try and merge in a little bit of the green, and it's got to blend into those other colours, so you're lessening the pressure as you meet the other colour. So there's no method to this. It's sort of using your eye to where you would like these colours to go and lay down. Okay, now I'm going to get the cream MPC 914 and I'm just going to lay that down where I would like it. So again, no real method, just a light pressure to blend in some of those colours that you've already put down on your paper, and sort of use your eye to kind of go with what you'd like. It's quite pastel tone. This is what this is, pastel tone at the lightest sort of lay down that you can put, but still got to be able to see that it's on the page. So you don't want to go super light, but you do want to go light enough with your pressure. So it's kind of like a, you know, you've got an iridescent glow sometimes if you've got certain things in the sun with wings and you sort of turn it, it has that effect. Now I'm just going to get my white and just into the middle of each of those segments on the wings, I'm just going to blend in with the white a little bit so that there's no pencil line. Don't worry about going over your black lines because we're going to wipe those out with a white Posca pen. So it really is a case of just blending that all together a little bit. So don't worry too much if you've sort of whited out your black lines a bit, because they're going to be doing that anyway. Now I'm going to get a white Posca pen. I have the I think it's 1M barrel, so it's looking like that, and just need to make sure it's working before I start. Yep. And I'm now going to go over all of these black lines and wipe these out. This does take a bit of time, but you're following all the pre-existing stuff here. Some of these lines are thicker than others, so they need a couple of applications going over them. Some are thin, so one stroke will be enough, like that one. But Poscas are paint pens, so they're a white acrylic paint, and they do take out all of the lines for you really effectively. So I highly recommend a Posca pen. You can do this with a white gel pen if you have one, but the Posca pen is a paint pen, so you can really have a good effect of going over the lines to white them out without being translucent. They're very opaque. Oops, apologies for that. Okay, so we'll come around here. This does take some time and some concentration, so that is why I'm silent. You're going to continue this over the entire wing. You need quite a steady hand for this, I'll tell you that. And you just take your time. Okay, so those have all been whited out now. Just bear with me, I missed a little bit. Okay, and now I'm just going to put a couple of just like small lines, just like it's a bit of a glaze. And that's how I'm going to leave that until it's dry for now. Now we're going to move on to the little bottle of the fairy dust, and I am going to use the same kind of colours as what I've done on her wings. While that's drying, I'm going to move that down. So I quite like the idea of having like rainbow sort of fairy dust, so I'm going to grab my blush pink, and that's in PC 928, and I'm just going to do more or less the same, but I'm going to do this a bit heavier with the lay down, but I want it quite angelic. So now I'm getting my pale sage in PC 1089, and again I'm going to blend that in like a little rainbow bottle. Then I'm going to grab the cloud blue in PC 1023, And same technique, I'm going to merge that all together. And then I'm going to grab my cream in PC 914 and I'm just going to do that on the edge and make it like a rainbow dust. With the lid, we are going to grab a marker in the colour, I'm going to go for terracotta, just for this little cork lid. And again, I use the fine tip of the marker. And I am going to do just this section here too. And I'm going to get my blush pink while that's drying and do this little section here. And the little butterfly. So I've got my blush pink and I'm just going to bring that out. So now I'm going to get the colour opening my pencil case. Now I'm going to get a different colour pink just to give that a bit of definition so it's not a flat colour. I think I'm going to grab the colour Mahogany Red. And Mahogany Red is PC 1029. And I'm just going to go from the inner part and blend out slightly. So you're not doing the entire butterfly, just a little. And I'm also going to get the colour Powder Blue. And I'm just going to not shade the entire thing, just a little amount. Just on the glass part there. And just with a darker blue, I'm going to say Copenhagen Blue in PC 906. I'm just going to put some like lines like it's, you know, got a shine. And then I'm going to get Dark Umber in PC 947 and I'm going to shade the lid. And just blend that right out. And then I'm going to get Burnt Ochre in PC 943 and I'm just going to blend that part of the pencil line out. With these little stars, I'm going to get back the Copenhagen Blue in PC 906 and I'm not going to shade these, I'm just going to block colour those little stars because they're so small and they don't necessarily need a shade. You've got the tiny little sections and I think I'm just going to do some of that where I've put the pink just sort of halfway. And I'm going to get the colour Lime Peel in PC 1005. Just have fairy dust. I want to have a green fairy dust into a yellow. Just because she's got green, and this is Cream in PC 914. And just over the middle of it. Now, with regards to the bottle, again, what I tend to do is get a posca. And your posca, I'm not going to go over the entire bottle, but just where it's meant to be glassy, I'm just going to go around the glass section only, not the lid, just the glass. And I'm going to just put like a line This has a little bottle. And then her little label. I've got my lime peel. And just slightly into those areas. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just going to get the black in PC935 and just around, I'm going to reapply those lines in so that you can still see sort of where it starts and where it ends. And I'm just going over the little fairy dust. It's got to be a very sharp pencil, otherwise you're going to lose that writing. Okay then, I'm quite happy with that. We're coming back to her wings. And this is totally optional. If you don't have this, you can leave this part out because it's not going to make a huge difference. Only to yourself that you can see them. I have a Spectrum Noir sparkle pen in clear. And they're like a Wink of Stella, similar to, with a brush tip end. And don't go over all the paint, just go in between the paint sections because you can take your Posca paint pen off. So you've got to be quite careful on how you apply this. So you're going into the coloured sections only. And you're just going into them very lightly with the tip of the pen. And this makes it all glittery and just gorgeous. And you can apply 2 coats. You have to wait between each coat to dry, and it gives it an even more shimmery, great effect. It's just such a nice thing to do on wings, because where you can't see it on camera, you can see it when you pick your page up. And we're going to do the same just on that fairy dust, rainbow dust there. And I'm not sure if the camera will pick that up, but it has a shine to it. I don't know if it's picking it up, guys, but anyhow, it's there. We're going to come down to her petticoat now. I am going to go back to the Pale Sage in PC 1089. And I'm just going to go over the entire petticoat with a light layer. This is your base coat only. I want her to have a bright green petticoat. Now I'm getting the colour Spring Green in PC 913. And I'm going to shade into those areas with the spring green because I want it a nice bright green. So I'm going against the right side of the leaves as reference. And then onto the opposite side on these ones. Okay. Now I'm just going to grab my white Prisma in PC 938 and I'm just going to blend the Pale Sage into the Spring Green. And that's not over the entire part, it is just into the lightest area on each section. And then I'm just going to get one other green. And I'm going to go for the colour Moss Green in PC 1097. And I'm not going to do a huge amount of this, it's just to give it a bit of contrast. So it's against that, just again, so you can still see the spring green, but it's just shaded it a tad. So not too much. Okay, now if you have this, again, totally optional, but I'm going to do it, and it would be nice if you did too. If you have Posca paint pens, you'll have hopefully the set, and I have the light green Posca. You have to give it a bit of a shake down to get it activated, but this is a light green one. There is 2 shades of green. This is the lighter of the 2. And just these little lines on her petticoat, I'm going to go over those with my green Posca pen. But again, if you don't have the Posca, you don't have to do this section. You can leave that out. I just think it's quite effective because she's green, and these squiggly lines would look good in green. Okay, and that is how our petticoat will shape up. I think you know, if we want to at the end, you could continue and you could do it over the whole petticoat. It's entirely up to you, but I'm quite happy with how that looks. Now, we've got these little flowers in her hair, and I quite like the Mahogany Red and the Blush Pink, so that's what I'm going to continue with. So I'm going to put down Blush Pink in PC 928 just on the petals. And again over here. Then I'm going to get Mahogany Red in PC 1029, and again, you don't need to go over the entire petal. You're just going to sort of go to one side and feather your shading out. And then picking up my Blush Pink again, I'm just going to get rid of the pencil lines, so we have a bit of a contrast. Now I'm going to get my Moss Green in PC 1097, and these tiny little leaves I'm going to harder pressure to a pressure that's just non-existent. And the same with these little leaves on her flower. So you're just feathering out that shading. Just feather it out. Just go to almost nothing on your pressure. So you start off quite heavy and then you end up to nothing. And I am going to do these as green because Tinkerbell's green. I think that's a wing, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to go with the cloud blue again, just on that. And I'm going to get my white Posca pen back because I just realised she has a wing. You don't always spot things the first time. Okay, if I zoom you out, I can see how it's shaping up. So she's got, this will stand out once we put our pastel background down, and so will this bottle. But the rest of it, you know, we can play it by ear on how we're going to do it. We're going to do the thimble and we're going to continue with the flowers. I'll see how I get on with this section. So I'm going to zoom you back in. I just wanted to zoom you out to just get the idea of how it's all coming together. So back in, these sections of the flowers, you only need to have something just to sort of shade it out a little bit. So I'm going to pick up the cream and put that heavy pressure into the middles. And then I'm going to pick up Chestnut in PC 1081 and just blend that out. Okay. Now we'll bring down to the thimble, which is this part here. And I'm going to do this with my metal technique. This is no markers, just pencil. So I'm going to bring the colour Silver in PC 949. And I'm going to lay down my initial base of this. So you can be generous with this one because you are going to layer on top of it. I think I would like the light source on this side here, so I think I'm going to bring that sort of to here on the bottom. As you can see, I fade this out. I might turn that down so it's better light to see. Okay, so initial lay down is nothing. Then we pick up the colour 70% Warm Grey in PC 1056 and we're going to start to put where we would want the dark to light to go. So we're going with a light pressure here because you're just laying it down to initially start with before you start adding and making it to your final product of what you'd like. Okay, now I'm just going to pick up my 70% Warm Grey in PC 1065 and I'm going to go quite heavy-handed here. And as I come towards the middle, you'll realise I'll lessen my pressure on my pencil as I go on until I've practically got no pressure at all being laid onto the page, so nothing. Now I'm going back to my 70% Warm Grey and I'm just going over that area. And then I'm going to pick my silver back up in PC 949 and again I'm going to sort of take those pencil lines out and blend out to more or less nothing at the end. So you're bringing that all together. It's like a dull metal look. So it's metal but a dulled metal, not shiny. And then I'm going to get my black in PC 935 and only into the corner and the edge am I going to have this. I'm not going to bring that all the way down the thimble, so it's on the darkest edge only and to nothing. And that's kind of the look I'm going to go for. If I zoom out, you'll see it will come together. I am going to get the white in PC 938 and on the lightest end only, I'm going to just bring that together. And I'm lightening my pressure of the pencil into the middle. And then just to show you what it will kind of look like when it's done, you get your Posca pen and just add a little highlight. So that will be the entire thimble in those colours. We'll do the section above and see how we get on for time, and then I will come back with part 4, which will be the final part. So again, we're going back to our silver in PC 949, and I will repeat the same pattern as what I've just done. Then I'm going to get my 70% warm grey, and again I'm picking out where I would like that. And when you get to the foot, you lessen the pressure. But where she's got her foot here, you can put a bit of a shadow. So with your warm grey, just shadow that a bit so you know where that shadow is. So when we come back with our black, it'll all be done. So I'll zoom you back in, and we're going to go back with the 70% cool grey, which is the PC 1065. And we're going to go heavier here, quite a thick lay down into medium pressure, into really going quite light, into non-existent. And then you go back to your warm grey 70%, which is PC 1056. And again, you're just going to take those pencil lines out and bring that over. Okay, then I'm getting my silver in PC 949, and I'm going to go over the entire part from sort of a quarter of the way in, and I'm going to bring that into the lighter area here. And then I'm going to get my black in PC 935, and again I'm just going to put some, you see the line here that's been sort of erased by pencil. I'm just going to reapply that in with the black, and then I can put my black into the darkest corner only and shade that into nothing. And here as well under her foot, I'm just going to create a bit of a shadow. And then I'm going to get my white in PC 938. And like I did down under this one, I'm just going to mine the shadow there, go around the shadow and just blend that in a little. And again, your Posca, you can reapply a line there. You don't have to do a lot, you can go here as well and put a line. So that is where I'm going to leave off for part 3. We have started the thimble. We have done her wings, her bottle and her flowers in her hair. So when we come back on the next part, we're going to continue with the thimble, do the sparkles and a pastel background in greens. I think 3 to 4 shades of greens, and I'll show you like a bokeh background that I'm going to do with that. So we're going to wrap this up in part 4. For part 3, I hope you enjoyed that. We've done her petticoat, her wings, the flowers, and starting the thimble and little bottle. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on part 4, and it will be the final part too. Take care everyone, bye.